good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we have some very, very unfortunate news. As proof has surfaced with newly crowned, undefeated, unified Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., 20 wins, no loss, and no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 69-inch arm reach. George Kambosos Jr., well, he took to social media to respond to some comments made by former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez. When Teofimo Lopez and undefeated WBC lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin "The Dream" Haney, 27 wins, no loss, and no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout, 23 years of age, 5'8" with a 72-inch arm reach, were going back and forth. Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, they were going back and forth, and it went viral. Teofimo Lopez, no excuses, from New York, and there are some words that are used in New York that is still unacceptable, but it's acceptable in New York, in the culture here in New York, okay, by Latinos, and that's the N-word, okay? They use it amongst each other, just like in the African-American community. And it goes back and forth towards each other as well. Not in a derogatory manner. Okay? And so George Kambosos Jr., when en route to fighting Teofimo Lopez to look to gain the titles, George Kambosos Jr., he took to social media and he had some very choice words for Teofimo Lopez. He says that you have to end all of this talk of race because it's a bad thing, okay? And so George Kambosos Jr., he went on to say how it was horrible of Teofimo Lopez to use the choice of words that he used, okay? In which George Kambosos Jr., he put up on his Twitter account, quote, this was back in October 17th of 2021, when Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, 3 a.m. in the morning, here in the States. So it's about afternoon, evening in Australia. Okay? And quote George Kambosos, he had this to say. He says, say no to racism. At real Devin Haney, this kid won't fight you. And if he does sign, he'll stall 6 times. I'll give you a crack after I make this kid irrelevant and take all them belts. Just bring that nice WBC belt and I'll bring mine too. Unless you want to give him another L, I'll see Loma. Okay, so he's saying that he's telling Devin Haney, I'm going to fight you after I beat Teofimo Lopez. This was ahead of Teofimo Lopez's George Kambosos showdown that took place November 27th. Okay, this is October 17th, a month and a week out before the fight. Okay, as you can see, Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez were going back and forth. Okay, right there you can see Devin Haney and Teofimo Lopez going back and forth, and you can see the comments made by George Kambosos Jr. Right, George Kambosos Jr. is telling you, and then ironically he's stalling. He said the kid will stall you out. He said this kid won't fight you, and if he does sign, he'll stall 6 times. Okay. And then he says, I'll give you a crack at the titles. Ironically, he's the one stalling. And then he goes, if you want to fight him after I beat him, I'll go and fight Lomachenko. Ironically, Lomachenko is who George Kambosos Jr. is looking to face. So George Kambosos Jr., he then beats Teofimo Lopez, and he's dragging his feet. But nonetheless, he had that to say. And then we figure out and find out now that George Kambosos Jr. wife uses the N-word publicly, and George Kambosos Jr. agrees with her publicly. Okay, she puts it on her social media that she's, instead of saying tanning, right, she puts up a post of George Kambosos Jr. holding the phone and herself in a bathing suit tanning. And George Kambosos Jr. is holding the phone up, taking a picture of her, and she titles it on her social media, that she's getting end in the sun with her man, meaning she's getting dark. The N word to refer to getting dark with the sun. Okay? So she's saying that she's getting end. She's getting dark, but she uses the N word to describe getting dark in the sun with her man, George Kambosos Jr. And George Kambosos Jr., he likes it. He agrees. This is on his social media. This is his wife. It's pretty ironic that George Kambosos Jr., now looking back in the buildup with Teofimo Lopez and his team, they had some very choice words for Teofimo Lopez and his team. Unkind words, if you ask me. And it didn't go over well with too many people. Okay? It actually didn't go over at all with too many people. So they're calling Teofimo Lopez father a chihuahua, a lot of other things they were saying to refer to Teofimo Lopez Sr. This is very, very unfortunate that George Kambosos Jr. would support this because, again, he took to his social media October 17th of 2021 to say end all of these types of talks and these types of borders and to describe the comments made by Teofimo Lopez, okay? And then this is supported. Then we find out that this is supported. I don't understand, why would you describe getting a tan with using the N-word? How is that correlated, right? And how could you publicly, comfortably, imagine if you can publicly, comfortably say this on social media and George Kambosos likes it, what do you say behind closed doors? And George Kambosos Jr., I was uncomfortable, and I'm sure many people was, when the fact that George Kambosos Jr. started telling Devin Haney, he didn't tell anybody else this, but he tells Devin Haney, in order for them to make the fight, he need to start selling his jewelry. What to his jewelry? You said it's not about money. It's about legacy and entertaining the fans. Devin Haney is the highest paid fighter from 140 junior welterweight on down, only behind Gervonta Tank Davis. And he's not very far behind Gervonta Tank Davis. So why are you telling Devin Haney to sell his jewelry in order to stage a fight with you when you are the one that makes less money? He's the A side. He's actually the bigger draw. You had a big fight with Teofimo Lopez that you was a massive underdog in, and you shocked the world and beat Teofimo Lopez. But again, Devin Haney is the bigger known commodity. You're just gotten your shine and your spotlight because of the fact that you shocked the world beating Teofimo Lopez. Everybody was expecting Teofimo Lopez to beat George Kambosos Jr. and then fight Devin Haney for undisputed. That was the big fight. But again, he played spoiler and he succeeded. But I'm confused as to why you would tell Devin Haney to sell his jewelry in order to pay the purse for the fight. What does that have to do with it? Okay? And so the fact is that you would tell the world to end all of this that's taking place and going on, but then you are okay and co-sign your wife saying the N-word to describe her getting a tan. I don't understand how that even correlates or plays a part in getting a tan. How does that even cross your brain to this is what we need? This is a word that we should use to describe getting dark in the sun. How does that cross your mind? How is that even an inkling in your brain to say, this is a word we should publicly use to describe getting a tan? You're just getting a tan. Why not just say, I'm getting a tan in the sun with my man, my husband, my family, so on and so forth on vacation? Why would you need to use the N-word to describe getting a tan in the sun? And why would, more importantly, if George Kambosos Jr. truly believed what he stated about ending racism when it came to Teofimo Lopez, then why wouldn't George Kambosos Jr., why would he like this and co-sign this? He shouldn't have liked it at all. He should have said, listen, you got to take that down. That's not cool. But he liked the picture and liked the post before saying anything. So you didn't read this, the title, the caption? Bad. This is bad for business. So George Kambosos Jr. possibly fighting Devin the Dream Haney. Let's see how this unfolds and plays out. That's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Lacey Baumgartner, you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV. Wow.